Hi. I want to thank you for showing up, and I wanted to talk about speaking from the heart this morning. You might ask, what is that? What do you mean by that? And speaking from the heart, I think, is one of the most beneficial things to do in life. And the reason for that is that it really creates freedom, which I think is something that all of us innately know that we deserve. And it was a God-given right to be free. God wants us to be free in all ways, all different kinds of ways. If we think about freedom, there's all kinds of freedoms. But freedom to be ourselves, the freedom to be disease-free, happiness. It brings a sense of peace if you are speaking from the heart, because there's no noise, if you want to call it that. There's no part of the world that's outside of yourself. Because when we speak from the heart, we're speaking from our soul, I believe. And that's the purest sense or the purest quality of communication. And again, there's different kinds of communication, right? Obviously, all the social media and written, body language is communication, all kinds of communication. And when you're speaking from the heart, when you're using those forms, the purity of it creates more connectedness. And I believe that's what we were brought here to do, is to connect. Hence, social media. Before social media, it was sitting down at a coffee table and having coffee with a friend. It was more personal. And personally, I'd like to get back to that, and I do. Like, I know all my neighbors, which I think is great. But it really brings a sense of freedom. Financial freedom, I mentioned health. And I said before too, that there's all kinds of freedoms. But I think that the thing about it is that you feel so much better when you're speaking from the heart, speaking from truth. The intention is to be truthful, thoughtful. And when you're speaking from the heart, the creative juices really work much better. You're speaking from the heart. It isn't just speaking outward, it's speaking to yourself as well. And that is probably the most important one to be speaking to, is yourself, speaking truthful to yourself, speaking from the heart. And if you think back to the 60s and 70s, when all those rock and roll came about, and many of the hit songs back then, I believe, were artists speaking from the heart. And that's, to me, is a sign that's what we all really want. Because they became hits, big hits, and we still love them today, when we listen to those songs. They're ageless, timeless, genderless. And when I say ageless, I mean kids that are very young love the music, and obviously people that grew up with it love it as well. When I think of my childhood, I had a happy childhood. Wasn't always necessarily easy, but What's the value in easy? So I had a great childhood. I had a lot of fun. Didn't have a lot, but I made a lot, because I believe that we're all creators as well. And when we speak from the heart, we're speaking as a child as well. And when we think of children, we say, "Oh, aren't they cute?" and all this kind of thing. And you get drawn to the child because they are so truthful, so speaking from the heart. There's no baggage with them. That's why we're attracted to it. So when we speak from the heart, we become a child again, in a sense, but with a lot of maturity, I guess you could say, a lot of experience. Maybe that's a better way. Anyway, I wanted to just share my thoughts on that. Number one, I start everything with speaking from the heart, and then it goes from there in the sense that my intentions are stronger. My thinking is clearer. My creativity is better, because my mind is open. There's no, as I said before, there's no baggage. But anyway, I want to thank you for your time, and God bless, and we'll catch you next time. All right.